Hi, my name's Simon Laurier and this is my Beijing footage which I finally got around to editing after several months of not doing very much, but I have done my Australia stuff, and this is my first of my films. It's the Forbidden City tour on my first day in Beijing. Just a few still shots here just to allow me to introduce the film, and most of the rest of it is all camcorder shot in glorious HD, which you can watch in high quality on YouTube. This is my hotel, and I was waiting for the tour bus to pick me up, and I was waiting about 45 minutes. When you go to Beijing, you'll see the traffic jams are quite something else, especially compared with some of the footage you'll see on my YouTube will show this. For the first time in my life, I actually booked a tour for the whole of my Beijing trip because I didn't speak Chinese. I was travelling alone, and I'd never been to China before, so I booked everything as one package. And this tour was the first day there, and it was a great tour. I enjoyed it a lot. Now the tour guide does something very clever. He takes us in via the northern entrance to the Forbidden City and not the southern entrance, which is the Tiananmen Square, where the majority of people turn up to enter. So we were walking from the north to the south. So what you see of these early shots is you don't see the epic part, you see these more intimate parts of the Forbidden City at the top end, which I wasn't familiar with, and probably most people aren't familiar with. They're more familiar with the last emperor, the big square. Now as the film tracks through here, you actually get a glimpse of my tour guide and some of my fellow tour members. Yeah, here with the red flag. A very enthusiastic guy. Spoke very good English. Been to America. Nice guy. So this was very early March. I think it was end of February, very early March. So it was still quite cold when I got there. So you needed your coats and your jumpers and stuff, and of course I'd come from Australia in the summer, so I had to pack and prepare for this part of the journey. I think this is that section from The Last Emperor at the end. As you walk through, the squares get bigger and the buildings get more elaborate. One of the problems is you can't actually go inside any of these places. You can just look inside. Some of the shots you've just seen, you can look inside. You get these epic views of the square. So it wasn't too crowded at this stage. I think at the end of the film it looks pretty crowded. Because you're a part of a tour, you can't dawdle, of course. You have to stick with your group, and so I was trying to see everything and trying to shoot the movie at the same time and take it all in. So that's one of the disadvantages of a tour, of course. You have to go at their speed rather than your own speed. You see how spotlessly clean it all is, and there's no souvenir places to spoil it, which I think is a good thing. You know, you get the proper atmosphere of the place, and even though there's a lot of tourists there, of course, you can't expect to have it to yourself. Look at it, it just goes on and on. It's quite a walk, actually. Yeah, look at this. It's just so vast. Yeah, you can see some parts have been restored, so they're off limits. That must be a never-ending job. I chose Beijing basically because I wanted to see the Forbidden City. I also wanted to see the Great Wall, of course. So I did consider going to Shanghai, which I'd love to go to as well. But I could only go to one as I was coming back from Australia. So I chose Beijing because I wanted to see these sites at least once in my lifetime. So we're moving towards the Tiananmen Square entrance, and you can see the shot coming up. The crowds are a bit bigger now. This must be mid-morning, late morning. So we're heading out towards Tiananmen Square.
Listening when the Empress handled state affairs.
This was the beginning of the day. Actually, it was a really full day tour. So we got the Summer Palace to come, and that carries on the next film.